Can ChatGPT actually read your website? Most people never check, and a lot of sites quietly fail this. This takes 6 minutes. By the end, you'll know how to test it yourself, what breaks it, and how to fix it. No account, no tool needed, though I'll show you a shortcut at the end. Start with the chain. Everything after it depends on this. You publish a page. A crawler comes and fetches it. What it fetched gets stored, and later, when someone asks a question, that stored thing can get cited in the answer. 4 steps. Everybody obsesses over step 1, the writing, the keywords, the schema markup. Almost nobody checks step 2. And step 2 is the whole game. If the fetch fails, nothing after it happens. Not the storing, not the citing. You can write the best page in your category and it changes nothing because the crawler that was meant to read it never got a copy. Here's the part nobody looks at. When you open your own site in a browser, the request goes through your CDN, Cloudflare or whatever sits in front, and reaches your server. You get a 200. The page loads. Everything looks fine. Now the same request, but arriving as GPTBot. It hits the CDN, and the CDN answers 403. Blocked. The request never reaches your server at all. Stop there a second. This is the confusing part. Your robots.txt might be perfect. It might name every AI crawler and allow all of them. It doesn't matter. Nobody read it. The CDN answered first, and your server, the thing that would have served that file, was never involved. That's why editing robots.txt fixes nothing here. You're editing a file that isn't being reached. So why doesn't anyone catch this? Because analytics counts people, and a crawler is not a person. A blocked bot doesn't show up as a lost visitor. It doesn't show up as an error. It doesn't show up at all. Your dashboard stays flat and cheerful, and nothing in it says anything is wrong. You can lose every AI engine at once, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all of them, and not one number on your screen will move. That's the actual danger. Not that it's hard to fix, it's that there's no alarm. Let's check it. You don't need anything but a terminal. Curl -A, quote, GPTBot -I, then your address. 2 flags, that's all. -A sets the name the request arrives under, so you're knocking on the door as GPTBot instead of as your browser. -I asks for headers only, so you're not downloading the whole page. It's a light request. Then read the first line that comes back. 200, you're fine. That crawler can reach you. 403, you're blocked. So is everything that crawler feeds. Run it on your own site right now before you keep watching. It takes 3 seconds, and I'd rather you find out than take my word for it. One thing that catches people out. Checking one crawler is not checking your site. These are separate names and they get separate rules. GPTBot is OpenAI's training and retrieval crawler. OAI-SearchBot is the one behind ChatGPT's search results. Different bot, same company. ClaudeBot is Anthropic. PerplexityBot is Perplexity. Googlebot now feeds AI overviews and AI mode, not just blue links. And CCBot is Common Crawl, which quietly feeds a lot of models you've never configured anything for. Allowing one of these allows exactly one of these. I've seen sites where GPTBot sails through and PerplexityBot gets a 403 because a rule was written by hand and only covered part of the list. So run the command 6 times with 6 names. Or skip ahead to the end where I'll show you the faster way. If you got a 403, it's almost always one of 3 things. In order of how often, it's the real one. 1. A CDN bot rule. Cloudflare has a control called Block AI Bots under AI Crawl Control, and on new zones, it is on by default. You didn't turn it on, it came that way. Bot Fight Mode does much the same thing. This is the most common cause by a wide margin, and it's the one where editing robots.txt is pure wasted effort. 2. A managed robots.txt. Some hosting platforms serve their own robots file instead of the one your application generates, with AI crawlers disallowed in it. Your code says one thing, the file on the internet says another. Open your site/robots.txt in a browser and read what's actually there, not what you think you wrote. 3. A firewall rule. Usually one somebody wrote years ago to stop scrapers, which now catches the crawlers you actually want. The fix is boring, which is good news. Cloudflare dashboard, AI crawl control. Allow the crawlers you want. Same idea on other CDNs, different menu. But here's the part nobody tells you, and it's the reason I do this today rather than next quarter. Recrawls are slow, weeks, not hours. Unblocking this afternoon does not put you in an answer tomorrow. The crawler has to come back on its own schedule, fetch the pages, and only then can any of it be used. So the cost of being blocked isn't the block, it's the block plus the wait. If you've been blocked for 6 months, you're not 6 months behind. You're 6 months plus however long the recrawl takes. If running that command 6 times sounds tedious, that's the tool I built. You put in a domain, it requests one page as each of the 6 crawlers, and tells you what your server actually sent back, plus which of the 3 fixes applies to what it found. Free, no account, no card. Links in the description, and I've written the curl command out down there too, so you can do it by hand if you'd rather. Either way, go check. Most people find out they're fine and stop worrying about it, which is a perfectly good outcome. Some people find out they've been invisible for a year. Next one, I'll look at what these crawlers actually read once they can reach you, because getting a 200 is not the same as being understood.